Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The family Chantel. I no longer think Pedro Jimeno is a villain. He should return to a potential spin-off in 2025 and show the world that he's a good guy. Pedro Jimeno has redeemed himself with many the family Chantel fans, ultimately repairing his previously villainous although. I was never a fan of Pedro due to his lack of loyalty to Chantel Everett and his self-centered nature. While I enjoyed watching his journey with Chantel, I didn't appreciate how he seldom made an effort to ensure his family accepted his wife as their own. Pedro's behavior caused many issues in his relationship with Chantel. While her family members contributed to a lot of drama, Pedro, his mother, Lydia Morel, and his sister, Nicole Jimeno, were also instigators. Like many other viewers, I began to dislike Pedro in the last 3 seasons of the family Chantel. I didn't appreciate how he mistreated Chantel, disregarding her past sacrifices and intentions. Pedro ridiculed Chantel's love and prioritized his new job as a real estate agent over resolving their marital issues. He abruptly abandoned their marriage without any warnings, leaving Chantel feeling hurt and confused. In addition to withholding intimacy from Chantel, Pedro also sparked rumors of cheating without addressing them directly. Ultimately, he broke Chantel's heart by asking her for divorce after causing her weeks of emotional distress. I was angry at Pedro when he divorced Chantel. I saw him as the ultimate villain and agreed with Chantel's mother, Karen Everett, when she accused him of being a scammer. Although I didn't leave negative reviews on Pedro's business profile like some others did, I was deeply saddened for Chantel. It pained me to see her dedicate 7 years to that relationship, only for Pedro to pull the rug out from under her. I was convinced I would never forgive Pedro because he never tried to address the scamming and cheating allegations during the family Chantel season 5. Recently, I checked Pedro's social media and was surprised to see a change in his personality. It made me understand why he ended his relationship. Initially, I blamed Pedro for giving up on his marriage, but now I realize he had no choice. His unhealthy relationship had taken a toll on him, causing bitterness towards everything and leading him to seek solace in work. Pedro was bitter towards Chantel because their marriage had affected his personality negatively. It had changed him for the worse, so he divorced Chantel to protect himself from becoming the worst version of himself. I think it is time for Pedro to return to reality TV on. Despite being busy with his job as a real estate agent, it would be more beneficial for him to appear in a spin-off and address any remaining accusations. In his last appearance in the family Chantel season 5, Pedro documented his divorce from Chantel. Still, he didn't have the opportunity to showcase his progress or explain the reasons for the breakup. He also didn't have the chance to clear his name, and the editing portrayed him as a villain. He should have the opportunity to express his thoughts on a potential The Family Chantel spin-off, focusing on his journey rather than his ex-wife or former in-laws. Pedro deserves a chance to prove his critics wrong and showcase why he made the right decision for himself and Chantel by ending their marriage. The fact that Pedro and Chantel are now thriving in their individual lives and reaching new milestones indicates that parting ways was beneficial for both of them. I also believe many cast members have forgiven Pedro, which is proven by the comments on his recent posts. Back in 2022, most of the 90-Day Fiancé stars chose to be on Chantel's side, much like the viewers. David Tabarowski even mocked Pedro on social media, using Canadian rapper Drake's song to tease him. Nowadays, David seems to be on Pedro's side. He often comments on his posts and supports him. Many other cast members also like and comment on Pedro's posts. They don't drag him down, unlike some of the critics on social media. I feel it's the right moment for Pedro to utilize this opportunity and cash in on his popularity before it diminishes. He is still recognized by viewers and CO stars, who remember his backstory and would appreciate watching him feature in a spin-off. In his next chapter, Pedro can showcase his progress toward his current romantic aspirations. He deserves a partner who aligns with his lifestyle and future ambitions, someone who respects him and his family more than Chantel did. However, over the past year, I have seen Pedro overcome his divorce and completely changed his attitude. He has transformed into the happy and positive guy he was 10 years ago. Most of Pedro's recent posts focus on positivity, inspiration, and faith. He maintains a wholesome presence on social media and enjoys sharing stories about helping his clients find their dream homes. Pedro loves God and has a newfound respect for his family. He enjoys spending time with his friends and appears to have a very healthy relationship with them. I believe Pedro is now truly ready to appear on reality TV again. He deserves to clear his name and show fans why he isn't a villain. Despite many viewers on social media still believing Pedro scammed Chantel and married her for a visa, I think it's time for him to prove his innocence and show the family Chantel viewers that he didn't take advantage of Chantel's love and trust. For the past few years, Pedro Jimeno has been a controversial figure in the reality TV landscape, primarily thanks to his role in the family Chantel. His complex and tumultuous relationship with Chantel Everett, as well as his fractured interactions with her family, created a whirlwind of drama that had fans glued to their screens. Yet, as time passes and the dust settles, it's becoming increasingly clear that Pedro's portrayal as a villain might not be entirely accurate. In fact, it may be time for a fresh perspective on his character, one where we see the multifaceted human being behind the headlines. I've come to the conclusion that Pedro Jimeno, the man who once appeared to be the bad guy in the story, deserves a second chance not only in the public eye but also in the world of reality television. He could be the star of a new spin-off in 2025, where we get to explore a side of him that hasn't been fully understood. It's time for Pedro to show the world that he is more than just a villain in a scripted narrative. He is someone with depth, growth, and the capacity for redemption. Here's why I believe Pedro deserves a chance to redeem himself and even take center stage in a new reality TV project. 1. The villain role was overblown. Throughout the family Chantel, Pedro often appeared to be at odds with Chantel's family. His cool demeanor, combined with moments of frustration, gave viewers the impression that he wasn't particularly invested in the relationship or in playing nice with his in-laws. In a reality TV show that thrives on conflict, these characteristics were exaggerated, and he became the villain in the family drama. However, it's essential to look beyond the lens of edited television and realize that relationships are far more complicated than what reality TV shows portray. Pedro's actions in the series were frequently portrayed as defensive reactions to the stress of a difficult family dynamic. His relationship with Chantel's family was rocky from the start, and instead of seeing someone trying to integrate into an established family, we were presented with a man who often seemed under attack. In many ways, his behavior can be understood as a form of self-preservation rather than outright malice. When we take a step back and look at the bigger picture, it's clear that Pedro was never really the villain. He was just a man caught in a whirlwind of family drama, trying to navigate the pressures of a cross-cultural marriage while balancing his own needs and desires. Rather than being a villain, Pedro could be seen as a victim of the narrative forced upon him. 2. A story of personal growth. In the years since his appearances on The Family Chantel, there have been glimpses of personal growth from Pedro that could translate beautifully into a new narrative arc. For one, he has experienced a series of significant life changes. From his divorce with Chantel to his self-discovery journey, Pedro has had ample time to reflect and evolve as an individual. Reality TV is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it gives celebrities a platform to share their lives, but on the other hand, it also places them under immense scrutiny. Yet, this scrutiny can also serve as a catalyst for growth. Pedro has gone through ups and downs that have forced him to re-evaluate his values and goals. He is now in a position where he could use a new spin-off to show the world how he has evolved not just as a person, but as a man who has the capacity for empathy, understanding, and change. What makes Pedro's potential spin-off intriguing is the fact that it could highlight his personal transformation. The narrative could explore how he has learned from past mistakes, worked on his emotional intelligence, and built better relationships with others. Fans could witness a man shedding the shadows of his previous reputation, showing that people are capable of growth, even those who have been unfairly labeled as villains. 3. Breaking the mold of toxic masculinity. Pedro Jimene's public persona was often marked by moments of perceived arrogance or stoicism, characteristics that are often associated with toxic masculinity. However, one of the most fascinating aspects of his journey is the potential to break free from these stereotypes and present a healthier, more authentic version of masculinity. A new spin-off would give Pedro the opportunity to show that he is more than the tough guy image he was often pigeonholed into. He could shift away from the notion that men must hide vulnerability or avoid showing emotional depth. By embracing a more nuanced and honest approach to life, Pedro could redefine what it means to be a man in the reality TV sphere. Instead of focusing on power struggles, we could see a man who is emotionally available, in tune with his feelings, and capable of forming deep, meaningful connections with others. This kind of portrayal would not only resonate with a broader audience but could also have a positive influence on how men are perceived on television. Pedro's potential to be a role model for emotional maturity and self-awareness is something that deserves to be explored in a spin-off, where he can set a new standard for vulnerability, compassion, and self-care. 4. A chance for love and redemption. One of the key elements of reality television that fans gravitate toward is the possibility of redemption. People love to see a character who has struggled, faced difficulties, and fallen from grace rise again. This is Pedro's chance for that type of narrative arc. A new spin-off could show Pedro's journey toward healing, growth, and possibly even finding new love after his relationship with Chantel ended. A romantic storyline could be a natural fit for Pedro's new series, but this time it wouldn't be about the drama or the conflict. Instead, it could focus on his ability to heal, connect with someone on a deeper level, and build a healthier, more supportive relationship. The love story could be more than just another plotline. It could be a testament to his personal growth and a symbol of how far he has come from his earlier portrayal as the villain. This narrative of redemption would not only benefit Pedro but also speak to a larger audience. People love to root for underdogs, and watching someone who once seemed difficult or emotionally closed off evolve into a more open, compassionate person can be deeply inspiring. Pedro's story could touch on themes of resilience, forgiveness, and the importance of second chances. 5. The world deserves to see his humanity. Ultimately, what makes Pedro Jimeno such a compelling figure is that beneath the surface, he is undeniably human. He has flaws, struggles, and moments of vulnerability that have been overshadowed by his television persona. What he deserves now is the chance to show the world who he truly is beyond the edits, beyond the headlines, and beyond the drama. Pedro's potential spin-off could reveal an entirely different side of him, one that is grounded in authenticity and emotional growth. It's a chance for him to become a role model for people who have been through tough times, just like him. He could prove that everyone, no matter their past mistakes or reputation, deserves a shot at redemption and happiness. In 2025, let us give Pedro Jimeno the opportunity to show the world that he is not the villain we once thought he was. He has the potential to be a much-loved, dynamic figure in the reality TV world, a man who proves that growth, self-awareness, and love are possible, no matter where you start from. It's time for a new chapter in his story.